is the 5th of Av. The 5th of Av is the yahrzeit of the Arizal, the Holy Ari, the Kabbalist Arizal. So this day has a lot of power to it, and we just got to extract it. So I'm going to say a few words. 2 or 3 minutes. I want to share a small thought about the tractate, and then I'll read the last few lines. We'll all be part of that, and that will be our Yom Tov. We'll have Yom Tov. Okay, everybody game to that? We're all okay with that?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, good.
Do you say anything like Chazak?
Huh?
Do you say anything like Chazak?
If you like, you can say Chazak. No, it doesn't say anywhere to say Chazak. So I just want to share one thought. This tractate that I've studied this tractate before, but this time it took on a special meaning. And the tractate I studied this time was Tamid. Tamid. What is Tamid? Tamid talks about the Beis Hamikdash, which is this time of year, and it talks about the service in the Beis Hamikdash in real detail. It gives you a visual of what happened with the Kohanim, what happened with the Levites, the steps they stood upon, the bringing of the sacrifice, and each detail of what everybody did. And it's like you get a real feel for. And this was the sacrifice that was brought every single day, twice a day, on behalf of the whole Jewish people, called the Karban Tamid, the sacrifice of the Tamid. And it goes through the entire service from the moment in the morning. How does the Beis Hamikdash open? And even before it opens, it talks about there were 21 places around the temple where there was an honor guard. There's a mitzvah that the Jewish people should have Kohanim in 3 places and Levites in 18 places on all parts of the Temple Mount and all parts of the temple. And they just have to be up all night. And I mentioned this a couple of days ago that the halacha was that there was somebody in charge, very organized system. If somebody was in charge, if one of the Levites, he used to go around and see if anybody was sleeping, okay? And if there was a Levite that was sleeping, he was allowed to give him a whack. Like, get up, this is Hashem's house, you gotta play your role. He was actually allowed to burn his garment, it says. Because this is how important it was. So I just want to share one thing that struck me last time, when I learned it last time as well. And then I'll go to the end. And that was, it talks about what's the first thing that happens in the temple in the morning. So there's keys and locks, and the elders would sleep over here, and some would sleep there. And what would happen was, the first service of the day was, don't forget, there was an altar, gigantic altar, and it was smoking all night, cooking all night from the fats or from the day before. There's ashes that are there now. So somebody has to go clean out the ashes from yesterday, from last night. So you would think, okay, let's hire a maintenance guy. Let's call the maintenance guy and get. But no, what happened was the Kohanim would, before dawn, early. Some even say, I think, from when the rooster crowed, which is even earlier, the Kohanim, a lot of them would get up, go to the mikveh first, and wait. As soon as that door opened, they rushed to be the first ones to be able to take off the ashes. That was their privilege. Now, one time, the Talmud says, 2 Kohanim were running, and one guy, I don't know if he zets the other guy, or by mistake, he went and he broke his foot. So the sages then enacted that from now on, there's going to be a lottery every day for this. And there was a lottery for every piece of work, for the menorah. There was a lottery for the incense. There was a lottery for cleaning out, for this dish, for that dish. Okay, so bottom line, so how did they do the lottery? And then I'll conclude. How did they do the lottery? They would, it says they would stand in a circle, giant circle, right? And they would pick a number. So you had to pick up either 1 finger or 2 fingers. You're each kohen. So the head kohen would take off his mitznefes, his special hat that he had, and he would take off his hat. I'm trying to remember. Because no papers. Anyway, he said a number, 600, and then he started counting. It was 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and go around the room. When it came to 1,000, 600, you were the guy. You won. And they wouldn't let you use a thumb. Because some guys thumb you can manipulate, and you can get in quicker. What does it show? It shows an eagerness to be in Hashem's house. And when you read it, you read about the reverence that they had after they would clean that out, right? After they went into the holy and cleaned out the inner altar with the incense of the ashes, and after they would clean out the ashes from the menorah from the night before, and now they're getting ready to light, they would go in and they would prostrate themselves on the ground and bow to Hashem. Every time a Kohen would do a service, they would do that. They felt that this was God's house, representing the whole Jewish people. So there was a tremendous reverence, tremendous organization, and a real feeling. And this was tamid. The word tamid means it was constant. So just a very interesting tractate to study.